the Catholic Church. 30 Days Magazine, a magazine favorable to the Vatican II anti-popes, held an interview in 1994 with the head of Italian Freemasonry, the Grand Master of the Grand Orient Lodge of Italy. The Grand Master stated, quote, "As for that, it seems that John the 23rd was initiated into a Masonic lodge in Paris and participated in the work of the Istanbul workshops." End quote. So it's obvious that anti-pope John the 23rd was a Freemasonic agent whose mission was to begin the attempted demolition of the Church of Christ by means of his false counsel. It is also known that on October 26, 1958, white smoke was seen emerging from the Sistine Chapel, indicating that a new pope had been elected, but no pope emerged. This was reported by newspapers throughout the world and heard on radio. Cardinals were even seen from the windows of the Apostolic Palace waving to the crowd, something not permitted if the conclave is still in session. They too thought a pope had been elected, but after some minutes the white smoke changed to black smoke, and still no pope came out. It was only 2 days later that anti-pope John the 23rd was elected, and after his election, he held a mysterious 8-hour post-election meeting with all the participants in the conclave. Why did anti-pope John the 23rd have to hold this post-election meeting? Did it concern the first set of white smoke and the election of the real pope, which he and the enemies of the church blocked and prevented? It's obvious that the first set of white smoke indicated the election of the true pope, probably Tedeschini. Everyone, even the Cardinals, believed that we had a new pope. But then the Freemasons and the Communists got involved and prevented the new pope from assuming the office. This was the outside communication which Scortesco revealed. Then the white smoke changed to black smoke, and 2 days later the Freemasons and the Communists implanted their man, the Freemasonic agent, anti-pope John the 23rd. The same interference occurred in the 1963 conclave, although in this case Cardinal Siri was the man who had his election illegally blocked in favor of the infiltrator Giovanni Montini, anti-pope Paul VI. Some ask if Tedeschini and Siri were elected in 1958 and 1963 respectively. Why didn't they stand up for their office more vigorously? Our purpose here is not to examine this question. Our purpose is simply to establish that the evidence of their elections, as well as the communication with the outside, demonstrates that something uncanonical went on during the conclaves of 1958 and 1963, as Scortesco revealed. This makes perfect sense because we know by divine faith that anti-pope Paul VI could not have possibly possessed the keys of Peter, since he solemnly bound his subjects to the heresies of Vatican II. Vatican II could not have been bound in heaven, so we know that anti-pope Paul VI had no power to bind on earth, for he did try to bind Vatican II on earth. And anti-pope John the 23rd also could not have been a true pope, since he set the table for the apostasy, while being a heretic himself. Even Malachi Martin, a best-selling author, a Vatican insider, and a hero of many defenders of anti-pope John the 23rd and Paul VI, blows this story wide open by admitting in his book The Keys of This Blood that it's well known that Cardinal Siri received the required number of votes to make him pope in 1963, but that Siri was influenced by what Martin calls, quote, a little brutality, end quote. Martin explicitly mentions that communication occurred between a member of the conclave and an internationally based organization concerning the Siri candidacy. So even Malachi Martin, a defender of anti-popes John the 23rd and Paul VI, admitted that Cardinal Siri received pressure not to accept the office to which Martin admits he was elected. This confirms what Scortesco revealed and demonstrates again that the election of anti-pope Paul VI was fraudulent. But besides the testimony of Martin and Scortesco, an interview that Cardinal Siri gave before his death is worthy of note. In a published interview with the Marquis de Franquerie, Louis Remy, and Francis Delay, Siri was asked questions on various topics, including what Scortesco revealed about his election. While denying various other things in the interview, Siri would not deny that he was elected pope. All he would say was that, quote, I am bound by the secret. This secret is horrible. I would have books to write about the different conclaves. Very serious things have taken place, but I can say nothing." The interviewers concluded that since Siri denied other things they asked him, but would not deny that he had been elected, that what Scortesco said was true. One should note that Siri was mistaken about being bound by the secret of the conclave, for the secret of the conclave would not bind when the salvation of millions of souls are at stake. And the horrible secrets of the conclave which Siri alluded to, without a doubt, refer to the unlawful intervention of outside forces, which blocked his ability to accept the chair of Peter. There is much more that could be said on this topic, but none of this evidence is necessary to prove that Antipope Paul VI was an antipope, who did not possess the keys and authority of Peter. We know this from the heresies of Vatican II and his confirmation of them. No one can deny this. The information concerning the 1958 and 1963 conclaves